What was the craziest thing you saw or experienced at any of these rehabs?
There were like horse therapy centers, like equine therapy or whatever, and people would go and hook up in the bathroom stalls in the equine barns.
That sounds like it smelled horrible.
Hello?
Hello,
Who's this?
this is the Gecko guy.
No fucking way.
What is your
You're
name?
shitting me, right?
I'm not
My
shitting
name is
you.
Sammy.
That would be disgusting.
My name is
Sammy, what's
Sammy.
going on? What's up, Sammy? Did I catch you in the middle of something, or am I bothering you?
Currently, I am in the car with my parents, but I can talk. Yeah,
You're in the car with your parents. Are you in the back seat?
I am. But I feel as though they already know anything that I would talk about. So, so yeah, what's up? I'm honestly just shocked. That was the first time I texted you. I'm honestly just shocked that you called me.
Can I ask you, where is the car going, or what? Are you on a ride somewhere?
Yeah, we're actually at the beach right now. Little family vacation.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, kind of horrible timing, but I'm just gonna go with it.
So, all right, listen. I mean, you sent me a text, and you said, "Hi, Geck. My name is Sam, and I want to talk about how a PCP trip helped me turn my life around."
Yes, indeed.
So, tell me about PCP, because all I've ever heard about PCP is that it makes people kill people and bite their faces off. I might be confusing it with bath salts, but go ahead.
So, I'm not a PCP expert by any sense. I've only done it this one time, and sorry, my brother's in the car with me too. But yeah, so I had been into the drug world for a good bit, and I ended up essentially trying to overdose on PCP, and it just made me realize everything, all the harm that I had been causing to myself, my family, my loved ones, and then it just sort of made me realize what I need to be doing differently, I guess. And I realized that PCP, like you said before, has a lot of the opposite effects on people. For whatever reason, in me, it just sort of reset my brain and reconnected wires that had been disconnected. And it ultimately made me want to get sober. I put myself in rehab, and I'm 3 years sober now. And I wouldn't say it's entirely to the PCP, but I would say that that had a decent positive effect. Not saying that that'll have that effect on everyone, but of course.
So you didn't start with PCP. It was along the road in your
Correct.
drug journey.
Yes,
What
sir.
did you start with in your drug journey?
This is funny because I'm just in the car with my parents. They're listening, but I started with Coke, and then very quickly divulged into. I pretty much speed ran drug addiction as fast as you can, essentially. But I've done pretty much everything in the book.
Where did you go after Coke?
My parents just told me I can speak freely. So after Coke, I went into from Coke. It went into Perk 30s, also known as fentanyl, but I didn't know at the time. And I was smoking those on aluminum foil, and then I got into meth, heroin. I did crack at one point, LSD, Molly, pretty much everything.
Wow. where were you getting all of this stuff from?
So
Not asking because I want to hook up, but just
yeah,
curious.
you want to plug? Well, I started off really like in the complete opposite world. I was like a band nerd. You know, I was very innocent, and then I started dating a guy who was in the drug scene, and he was actually a coke dealer. So he had a lot of references, I guess you could say, and a lot of money and a lot of access. And so I was just kind of, all of a sudden I was in this world where I was getting a bunch of stuff for free, and I wasn't really capable at the time of saying no. So I just kind of got enveloped into this world where it was all this free drugs and no sense of who I was, and it just kind of escalated from there.
How long did you date this guy for?
I think it was a total maybe 6-8 months. It was a very intense time period, though. Like, I would say, like, I was staying over at his house a lot. It felt much longer than 6 to 8 months.
How did you meet him?
Ironically enough, through my previous boyfriend at the time, and we were friends, like the three of us, and just some shit happened, and I ended up being kind of a dickhead and leaving him for his friend.
So you're with him for 8 months, and that relationship is kind of what catalyzed all the drug addiction?
Essentially, I would say. I don't know if that was the exact catalyst. I think there were a lot of other factors that led to this sort of switch. Family issues, you know, friend issues, just sort of my whole... also, COVID had just sort of happened around the same time. My whole world sort of imploded, and I felt as though there was really nothing else to turn to, if that makes sense.
Yeah. How old are you at the time?
At the time, I believe I was 17. Currently, I'm 22.
So you were still in high school when you were doing all that drugs?
Yeah, it was my senior year.
And did you have like a career plan at the time? Did you have like a thing you wanted to do after high school that you were either neglecting or that you were doing it concurrently with the drugs?
I don't know if there was really anything specific in mind. I don't know if I really had a direct career path. I had always been really big into... I had always really been big into like band. I think band was the big central thing. My stepdad was the band director. Like, band was just sort of like the center of my family in a way. So it had sort of been pushed onto me that I would just go into music, I guess.
And how was your relationship with your family at the time?
At the time, honestly, awful. I had just moved out of my mom's house and like completely cut ties with her. Moved into my dad's full time. All of my friends were a year older, so they had all graduated at that point. Everything was pretty rough, honestly. And my mom had just like read my diary. I think that was somewhat a catalyst. Big breach of privacy. You know, I know that sounds like such like first world problems, you know, oh, my mom read my diary or whatever, but...
Well, it's not that it sounds like first world problems, but it is very funny in this context as you're talking about all these personal things while she's in the car with you.
I'm currently walking to the beach right now, but yeah, I mean, I've been pretty straightforward with her. That's how I have a relationship with her now. So,
are you still in the car with them right now?
No, sir. walking to the beach on my own. So,
But you're cool enough with them, but still, you're cool enough with them now that they know about all this. You gave your laundry list of drugs in front of them, like they know everything. Were they supportive of you during that
Correct.
time? Like, were they helping you out?
During that time, no, I was not in contact with them, other than my dad. My parents are divorced. I was not in contact with them during that time, but I think once I got clean and once I got out of rehab, then I think they were just more so happy that I was alive than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't the best to me either, so I think my drug use almost made it even in a way. Like, we had both done bad things, so we just kind of chose to forgive each other, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, for those 3 years that you were on your drug benders, what were you doing? Were you just living at home?
Partially. I was either living at my dad's house, it was just me and my dad, or I was also in and out of rehabs. I've been to maybe 4 total at first. So I'm in Virginia, but I went to, my first rehab was in Mississippi, and then I went to California from there, and then I relapsed, and then later on I ended up going to rehab in Maryland, and then back in Virginia. It's been a journey for sure.
What was the craziest thing you saw or experienced at any of these rehabs?
Ooh. I mean, gosh. I mean, besides, like, the sex and drug use in the rehabs, I mean, a lot of crazy shit, especially, I was freshly 18, fresh out of high school. Yeah, I mean, here's a story. In Mississippi, my friends and I, somehow, someone had to connect to a plug, and they got them to, like, put fentanyl under the soles of shoes, and then they got their plug to ship the box of shoes to the rehab, and since they were under the soles, we were just, like, doing fent in the rehab. But I mean, people were just like, you know, there were like horse therapy centers, you know, like with like equine therapy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And people would go and hook up in the bathroom stalls in the equine barns.
That sounds like it smelled horrible.
Oh, I was one of those people. It was, yeah, it super romantic, you know, if you think about it. But
you had a rehab fling.
Yeah, maybe a couple under my belt.
What's a rehab fling? What's a rehab fling like?
Well, they called it fraternizing by the people who run the rehab. Like, they would always say no fraternizing. I'd say they're pretty awful overall. I mean, you're both in just terrible places, like worst spots in your life. You're just looking for human connection in any way you can get it. I think there's a lot of desperation in places like that, and you get a bunch of desperate people together and they're gonna fuck. I mean, but
do you still
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I do look back, like, sometimes I wish I could go 3 years clean now, and sometimes I wish I could go back to rehab just for the camaraderie of it all.
I was going, you know, it's funny, I was thinking it, I wasn't going to say it, but, it's funny because once you're out of high school and college, there are not a lot of, I guess, work, if you work in an office in person, you're around people, which a lot of people don't. There's not a lot of times where you're like constantly in a community of other people, especially like living in dorms in the same places with them. And so
even like college, I don't think it's the same type of connection you get in rehab. It's not the
Right.
same
There's also
people.
the camaraderie of everybody's at their absolute lowest point. Everybody has that weird shared connection in a sense. So
Yeah,
while I
it's
get
a
I get
bonding.
the conflicting feeling of I'm happy to be 3 years clean, but I also kind of miss the community of the rehab.
Sometimes I catch myself thinking, oh, maybe I can just relapse so I can go back to that. But
Yeah,
I'm not going to do that. But
yeah, join a fucking sewing club or something if you want.
right,
Community.
yeah, I have to learn how to sew first. But
do you still talk to anybody that you met at rehab, whether it was just a friend or a someone you fraternized with?
Yeah, I'd say I've kept in contact with people. Some of them are dead now, unfortunately. But the ones who aren't, I have managed to keep in good terms with. It's hard though, you have to watch them. People relapse, and you got people asking you for money. It's hard seeing people that you care about, especially when you're clean yourself, having to see them just get deeper into addiction.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still keep in contact with them. It's maybe from a distance, though.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if that gets complicated. Have you ever had to cut somebody off because you felt like they were kind of, I guess, a negative force in your healing journey?
Oh yeah, I mean, of course. I feel like that's unavoidable. I'd say the hardest person that I've had. I haven't cut them off entirely, but a good bit. My boyfriend, actually the one who introduced me to drugs, he actually passed away from an overdose. And I became friends with his best friend after his death, and I eventually had to, once I got clean, I had to cut off his best friend because of it. And that was really hard because that was sort of my last connection to my late boyfriend, But we're still on good terms. It's just he's not on the same journey as me.
Tell me about your life now. What do you... So, I mean, you're 3 years clean, right? You said 3 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just hit 3 years last month.
You're going on family vacations. You're hanging out. What's your life like now?
I'm in my last year of college. I don't think I'm majoring in sociology. I don't think I'm going to get a job in it, nor do I really want to. But, my parents are educators. They think education's important. And I'm trying to take advantage of and be grateful for all the opportunities I have that many other people, don't get. But I'm working as a baker. I'm hoping to stick with baking even though the pay is shit. But, I'm working. I'm doing school. Trying to keep on good terms with my family, even if it costs my sanity. But I feel like it's hard to complain. Anything's better than being in withdrawals or grieving, or like I feel like once you've gone through shit, I feel like you appreciate like the more just like the average things in life a bit more. And so I overall I'm feeling pretty grateful. Trying to remember that everything, my personal philosophy in life, I don't think everything happens for a reason. I don't think there's reason to anything, but I think you can assign reason to what you want to assign it to. Like, because life is meaningless, you get to choose what has meaning. I don't know if that makes sense, but
absolutely.
Just trying to remember that, yeah.
Before we go, can you tell me, I liked what you said about how things being shitty makes you really grateful and appreciative for the average things, because, like, I think about that sometimes, and I think about how, like, the average things are, like, kind of like the most of what we have, because it's most of our life is stopping at stop signs and, taking shits and walking
Oh,
around and just
100%.
average stuff. What are some of the average things that you found yourself being particularly grateful for?
That's a good question, Lyle. Place to rest my head at night, roof over my head. I like going by the creek near my apartment, and I just look at the water. I think seeing the leaves change is a really nice reminder of just the finiteness of life, I guess. I personally, I used to be really suicidal. I mean, that's kind of how you get into drug use, is being suicidal, or not just caring about your life. And I think now, I feel very grateful to still be here. I think I find a lot of beauty in life, just like the stars in the sky. I'm looking at the stars right now. Or like the water, the waves crashing next to me. I think for a long time I didn't see a point in life, and now I think I've come to terms that maybe there isn't a point to life, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just existing.
Sam, thanks so much for talking to us about all this stuff. Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. And you don't have to have a reason to keep living. You can just live, and you don't need a reason for it. You don't need a reason to exist.
Yeah. I guess that's what dogs kind of do, and they seem pretty happy.
I'd love to be a cat. I think I should have been born as a cat. They just get to sleep and shit all day, and they don't have to pay bills.
Well, tell your parents I said what's up. I don't know if they know that you're talking.
My brother
to a
knows
lizard.
you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. When you called, I said, what if this is the Gecko? My brother gave me a head shake. He said, no way, it's him. But my parents do not know of your existence.
Well, tell your brother to eat my shit, dude. We
all right, I will.
We did it. Thank you, Sam. Good luck, and don't do PCP, kids. Unless, I guess, it worked out for you, but don't do it.
Not an endorsement for PCP. It may have worked out for me. I guarantee it will not work out for you.
Thanks for calling, Sam.
Anytime. Have a good night, Lyle.
You too.
Bye.
Oh, I really liked that call. I've been talking about this a lot on the podcast, and I guess just in general. I think a lot about kind of, as I do this podcast, I've been doing it for about almost 4 years now, and I've struggled to answer the question of, like, what have I learned from talking to so many people? Because I just kind of have been, like, doing it repeatedly so much that everything just kind of goes in and out, and I'm just, like, focused on the, like, work of doing it, that I guess I don't internalize it as much. And so I've finally come to one of the many answers to that question, which is that, like, a lot of life seems to me to be about perspective, because you think about Sam and the way she was talking, the things that seem as though they make her life great is just this perspective she has that life as she lives it currently is enough and good, and I like that. And then you got a caller who's like, I am upset because I could have made a lot of money in Bitcoin, but I didn't, and so now I'm pissed. And it's like, well, you can have so much and be miserable and not have a lot and be happy, and you can also go outside and You can also go outside and go, ah, anytime you want. That is something that you, as a human being, are endowed with the right to do. Okay. All right. That's enough motivational stuff out of me. I gotta say something crazy to counteract the wholesome motivation. What do I say? I gotta say something crazy. All right. Okay. We did it.
Call from
Zach.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up,
Yeah,
man?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on? What's up?
I don't know, man. I would call in, like try, and this is my first time, and I can't believe I got through.
What's your life like, Zach?
I don't know, man. I'm a pizza man. I deliver pizzas. I do some serving. I live in a house that my parents own. I rent it with my girlfriend.
Do you like life?
Man, I don't lie. I overthink a lot.
What do you overthink?
But, man, time be moving fast, dog.
Sure does.
And I don't know, I think about like how I'm getting older and like everything else is like, of course, getting older, but like, I don't know, like, you ever think about like, I don't know how to phrase this. I guess I do. I'm just like, I'm on the spot, so I'm a little nervous.
Take your time. Take your time.
So like the other day, you ever seen that movie called Super Size Me?
Yeah.
That the main dude, like the main guy, I forget his name. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
he
You
just
want to hear
passed
something?
away.
You want to hear something crazy? And I don't mean to intercept your story, but yeah. So the main guy from Super Size Me died. His name was Morgan Spurlock. I also had a little bit of an existential crisis when I saw that he died, because he was only 53, and I was like, damn, dude, you can just die. Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah, dude. Like,
Okay, that's
you're on the same
exact. I
wavelength.
literally was feeling exactly what you were feeling yesterday when I saw that he died.
Dude, that makes me feel like so much better to know that I'm not like on like some weird different viewpoint than other people.
No, because that's the ultimate wake-up call. Is like, oh yeah, you're gonna die. In fact, I almost think, and it's kind of impossible because it's weird. It's like, are you familiar with the phrase memento mori?
No.
It means remembering death and just remembering your own mortality, remembering you're going to die. And some people have this philosophy that the knowledge of your own death should be a daily thing to be thinking about, and that it should have a really, really, really strong hand in influencing your decisions. And it's interesting because some people do that, but in such a way that gives them a ton of anxiety. But really the idea is you do that in such a way that is empowering to you and prevents you from wasting time and influences your decisions such that you're prioritizing things that actually matter because you're going to fucking die.
That's a lot to lay on me. I ain't gonna lie.
Tell me what your experience has been. Okay, so yesterday you went on Reddit, you saw Morgan Spurlock died. You were like, oh shit, that guy was here, and now he's not, and now I'm gonna not be here too. What was going through your brain? Tell me about your existential thoughts.
Man, so like I've been having a lot of that, honestly, with like, because I feel like a lot of like people I grew up watching have recently passed away in a few years, last couple of years. And my crisis is like shit, man, I'm getting old. Like, man, I'll be honest with you, I'm only 22. I know that ain't old. Like, I'm like self-aware enough to know like I ain't old. Like, I got time and everything, but it still be like affecting me in some ways because like I got family that's old, man, and it makes me worry. You know, it makes me think like, man, I gotta spend as much time with them. I gotta do this and that. It's a lot to like lay on someone.
What do you want to do before you die?
Man, I'm gonna be honest, there ain't much really. Like, I got a decent place, I got a good girlfriend, Family's pretty cool most of the time. I don't know.
Dude, yeah, that's amazing. That's great. You sound like you're living the dream.
I think I am at the end of the day, but then, you know, shit happens throughout the day, and I get into it.
Like what?
Man, I worked at a pizza place, and I actually texted you about this, but I didn't like specify who I was. But I serve at this pizza place. Like, it's more like a restaurant than like just to like come in, grab a pizza, and go. And the night before, you know, I tried this edible, and I guess I took too much. So like I was all fucked up all throughout the night. Thought I was gonna die because, you know, I was getting sick throughout most of the night. And then the next day, like, I slept the entire day until it was time to go to work. I get to working, man, and there's like a line of people just waiting at the door until we open. And it's my high school teachers, and I got served that day, and I'm still like fucked up. And just that entire situation, man, I was like on the brink of just like having a panic attack, because like that's a lot. Like, I don't even know where to like go from here to there. Like, I'm taking pizzas. I'm slinging out some water to people. I got to collect and clean the tables, because like we don't even have like bussers. Like, I got to clean the tables. I got to do the dishes. So like,
and you're all doing this while you're like tweaking out on an edible.
Yeah, man. No, like, and I'm like, dude, that stuff, like, that's not usual for me. Like, I felt really bad. Like, I get paranoia that, like, oh, this person knew that I was messed up. This person does. Sure. My parents do.
So then, like, so did this cause the death anxiety that you were just talking about?
Honestly, it made it worse, but like I've had that since I was a child. Like, my mom's always brought up how I was scared of death when I was growing up. It's just been a common thing.
So tell me why. I guess so. I don't know, if you were to make your decisions based on the fact that you are going to die, would you change anything?
Like, what do you mean? What decisions?
Just fucking life decisions, man.
Oh, dude, everyone's got things that they go back and they think, like, maybe I would want to change a little bit here and there, no matter how perfect their life is. Just like a what-if scenario.
Yeah, for sure. But also, you're still, I mean, fuck, man, you're still super young. But I mean, I get what you mean. I feel, actually, lately I've felt very, very young, but I've had a lot of fucking times when I was like I'll read my journal sometimes, and I have something in my journal where I was talking about, like, you know, I'm 24 years old, but I feel dead. You know, I feel old. But I actually, lately, I've been feeling pretty young. Do you feel old? That's what you're saying.
I feel old as fuck.
Why do you tell me why you feel old?
Dude, man, it's because, like, you really sit there and you think about how, like, you brought up that guy from Super Size Me and how he passed away, and he was only like 53, you said, I think. And, you know, that just shows me how short time can be depending on what you do. But sometimes life just sneaks up on you and throws you a Hail Mary, you know, like, and you don't know what to do with that. And I guess I feel old because, like, people are passing away that I know, you know, actors, actresses, people close to me, you know, whatever. And, like, things are becoming outdated that were cool to me. Like, I got a guy that's, like, 6 years younger than me at work, and I made a joke about this video game. I don't know if you ever played Infinity Blade on your phone. It was a mobile game with, like, splashing with your, like, Fruit Ninja, but it was, like, a knight dude. That game was lit. Oh, you're missing out. But that's besides the point. I brought that up in a joke as a conversation. He just, like, had no idea. And that, like, huge disconnect made me think about, man, what else don't you know, dude? Like, what?
Sure.
There's just so much stuff that happens, like, in history and time. Like, there's so much going on. Time's constantly moving, and you can never, like, fully grasp that, I guess. At least for me, I guess.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing. I kind of, There's something about when you graduate from the system of high school and college where you get to a point where nobody's telling you what to do anymore. And the age at which you reach that point, it then becomes like that for the rest of your entire life. And you're like, damn, for the rest of my life, nobody's ever going to be telling me what to do anymore. And I have to make my own decisions and guide myself. And, you know, ideally you have, you know, people and I guess certain things guide you. But ultimately you're signing off on it all. So, I don't know. What's your favorite flavor of pizza? What's your favorite pizza topping?
Dude, give me a ranch pepperoni with some banana peppers.
What the fuck? Banana peppers?
Whoa, hang on. You never had banana peppers on your pizza?
I'm not a pepper guy. No, not really.
Never. So like you don't have much of a.
I'll tell you this though. You mentioned ranch. I love ranch. Yeah. Barbecue. What do you feel about? How do you feel about barbecue chicken pizza?
Hey, give me a barbecue chicken bacon pizza.
Yo.
Yeah, that sounds good. You about to get one?
Do you like? Can you tell me if this is weird? This is one of my big quirks. This is one of my big idiosyncrasies. Is anytime I go to a pizza by the slice place, you know how when you get your slice of pizza, they'll take it and they'll put it in the oven to heat it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I always tell them not to do that, and I just want it as is, like a little cold.
Dude, you like that lukewarm pizza?
Yeah, I like it when it's lukewarm, because here's what always happens. They put it in the oven, and then when it comes out, it's way too hot to eat, and the cheese is so hot that you can't even really taste the cheese, because you're just tasting fucking burning, and the oil gets all dense.
Greasy.
And it's just more greasy, and it's hot, and the crust is so crispy and thin that you can't even chew on it and enjoy like a chewy piece of pizza. So I always tell them not to heat it up. Sometimes I overshoot and the pizza is a little too cold. It's like it's been in the fridge. I don't like that, but I like when it's lukewarm. Sometimes you get it right at the perfect temperature, you know. But when you order pizza at a restaurant, it sounds like you're more at a restaurant place. They always send it to you fresh. But that can be pretty good too. Yeah.
What's your go-to pizza?
I'm gonna say I'll get here's what I'll usually do. I'll get a slice of regular and then a slice of something crazy. So I'll do one slice of cheese as like a backup, as like just in case if all else fails, we still got this one. And then I'll do like, you know, either a chicken bacon ranch or there's this one place they have spaghetti pizza. They just put they just fill a fucking pie crust with spaghetti. I gotta try that. So I'll do one regular, one
spaghetti
crazy.
To me right now, dog.
Yeah, what's your favorite spaghetti?
No, you can't be talking to me about that right now.
I can't be talking to you about spaghetti? You got sick on spaghetti? That's why I got sick on.
Yeah, that night, that night before I served, that's why I got sick on. Like, my girlfriend was up, like, in the bathroom with me, like, helping me out. Like, I almost died, dog.
Because you ate spaghetti?
Look, I took the edible. We ate, like, dude, she said, man, this is a lot. And I said, yeah, that was a lot. And she looked over, and within, like, 2 seconds, my bowl was completely empty. Meatballs, garlic cheese bread, all of it. Like, I'm notoriously a fast eater. And then probably an hour later, after watching Agent Cody Banks, I was in the bathroom letting it all loose.
I thought it was because you got high.
Yeah, like I got high, but like when I get too high, I get like motion sick, which makes me, you know, vomit and stuff, you know.
Sometimes I'll be eating, and this ties back into what we were talking about. A lot of the time recently, I'll be eating my perfectly lukewarm slice of pizza on a stoop outside of the pizza place, or just like kind of standing on the sidewalk outside of the pizza place, and I'm looking around, and I am like, I think this is it, you know. Like I like sometimes I'm like, you kind of feel like you're on a search for like what's the best version of life, or what's like the real important stuff. It's like, I think that's good. That's good stuff right there. Just eating a slice of pizza. You know, I'm kind of like, I could die right now. Just eating the slice of pizza. Nothing matters except this slice of lukewarm pizza.
You do anchovies on your pizza?
No, I hate anchovies. Well, actually, you know what? Honestly, never had them. Never tried them before.
All right. We're good then. We're good.
Should I try anchovies?
Nah. Like, we don't serve anchovies in my place.
Actually, I think I tried them at some... I don't know. I was someplace I must have had them, but... How do you think you're going to die? What do you think? Do you think you're going to get killed?
Man, I don't know. A lot of my family's got, like, cancer. Like, I don't know if that stuff, like, can just... I don't know, like, how that's going to really work out, but I've been getting nervous about that stuff. But I think I got Chris 78 years in me.
Yeah.
And then I'm just peacing out.
78 years, that's a good run.
Yeah. I feel like it's solid.
53, man. God damn. I swear to God, it's so funny you're bringing this up. I thought the same thing.
See, that dog died too?
Oh, the dog. Well, dogs die all the time.
Doge? Huh?
Yeah, the dog. Yeah, the dog died. I remember. Yeah, the Doge dog.
Yeah, that made me sad too.
How old was the Doge dog when he died?
18.
18. That's a ripe old age for a dog. I think most dogs, like if you're lucky, you get 13 years. That's how much a golden retriever gets. 13. 78. 78's good. I'd like to do 80. I think if I can do 80, that'd be pretty sweet.
You want to be doing this until you're 80? Like taking the calls?
I don't know. I'm probably not going to be doing this when I'm 80 years old. I don't think. Although I don't know. I know I want to do something interesting my entire life. I think what I'm doing now is pretty interesting. So as long as I'm doing something interesting, that's cool with me, whether or not that involves being a gecko and talking to people on the phone.
Do a live interview while skydiving. That would actually be kind of crazy.
No, I don't like doing... No, I'm not into shit where... I'm not into, like, extreme sports. I don't have any interest in bungee jumping or jumping out of a plane or any of that shit.
Dog, aren't you in the skies right now?
You got me there. No, I'll probably just get cancer and die.
Oh, don't put it that way.
What do you mean? That's the I mean, it's way better than a skydiving accident. Skydiving accident sounds horrible. Give me cancer.
Hey, what are you using that Make-A-Wish on it then?
What am I using my... That's a great question, actually. How would you use your Make-A-Wish? If I was I think most Make-A-Wish stuff is for, like, kids. And I was thinking, if I was 14 and I had cancer, my wish would probably be to touch boobs.
All right.
If that was my one thing. But now as an adult, a Make-A-Wish. There's nothing... I don't think I would have a wish as an adult. I don't think there's anything that I want that Make-A-Wish could give me right now. What about you? What would your Make-A-Wish? I don't know if that... I don't think that means that I am happy.
You're complicit then. Like, you're in a stable position.
I don't think it means that I'm happy, but I think it means there's nothing missing from my life that I believe the Make-A-Wish Foundation could provide. Like, I don't need to fight. I think one of the ones they did was, like, that a kid was Batman for a day. And I don't think being Batman for a day would be interesting to me as an adult. Or make my life better. But what about you? What would your wish be?
Dog. Oh, man. Take me to space? You think they would do that?
You know what? Yeah. You know what? I'm stealing yours. That's. Can they do that? Can they take kids to space? I feel like they can't do that. I don't know. If they could do that, then yes, I want to see space.
You gotta survive all
I
that
think that'd be
training.
fucking terrifying, though, right?
I'm getting hella motion sick.
Because, like, I understand how you get to, like, that rocket ship ride to get to space. That must be, like, I'd be really scared of that.
So you ain't taking like a gummy, nothing? You ain't doing popping nothing before you go?
Fuck no, I'm not getting high before getting on a rocket. That would be the ultimate. Could you imagine being high in space? That sounds awful. Or actually, no, that sounds kind of amazing.
Imagine you seeing the Earth. You seeing that Earth while you're high, man. That's gotta be the craziest thing.
You ever play Call of Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah.
Remember when the trailer for that came out and there was a cutscene where you're in fucking space? That was so hype.
I don't remember that. I'm gonna be honest, but that sounds hype. Maybe I'll watch it after this.
Yeah. I bet space is probably like it is in Modern Warfare 2. Would you?
You're
is
right.
that so? Yeah, I would take that if that was a wish available to you, going to space.
You know, get your custom like Gecko costume, like astronaut costume.
Yeah, make it all green and shit. That'd be cool.
That's pretty cool, man.
Well, I'm sorry that I couldn't solve both of our inevitable deaths over the course of this phone call, but you know, I'm glad we got to work it out.
Nah, fuck that. I got to talk to the Gecko. That's already like that made me feel better. I do have one question though.
Yeah, what's up?
So I see your tour dates, man. How come you ain't coming back to like Indy or Columbus? Unless I like missed that.
You know, I don't know why. I don't really like. I don't decide a lot of the. I mean, I kind of do. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try to come back.
Please do, man. Please.
I had a fun time last time I was in Columbus, Ohio. I like that place. I like a lot of the comedy clubs are in malls, so I get to have an Auntie Anne's pretzel before the show, and that's my favorite part.
I will get you one if you come back to Columbus.
What's your name again, sir?
Name's Zach.
Zach, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
Hey, man. You gotta live once. You gotta have a good time. Get blessed.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You too.
Now imagine eating a lukewarm slice of pizza in space. That'd be a pretty good way to die.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, it's Lyle. Hi.
Hello. What is your name?
I'm Kat.
Kat. What's going on, Kat? Thanks for
Not much.
Thanks for talking and thanks for talking on my little show.
Yeah, thank you for calling me. I'm just at my second job. I clean a preschool in the evenings.
You clean a preschool?
Yes, for 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday, and sometimes I hold off till Sunday.
What kind of bodily fluids we getting into here? Snot, puke, blood?
Honestly, they're potty training, so it's mostly urine and a little bit of feces.
How'd you get into that line of work?
I've been cleaning for a few years, and slowly I went from house cleaning to school cleaning, and this turned out to be a really nice gig. And yeah, that's about it. It's just a series of jumping from one cleaning job to the next, and this has been a nice one.
So this is your second job, you say. What's your first job?
My first job, I do cleaning for a casino.
Wow, it's funny because I really can't decide which one I think is grosser.
The casino.
You think so? Okay, tell me about the messes at the casinos versus the messes in the preschool.
The preschool is easy. The kids do a little bit of dribble here and there with the potty training stuff, but like the casino, you have days where someone will come in and just trash your whole bathroom, like your assigned restroom. And like someone will come in and just shit all over like the whole floor at multiple stalls, and you have to like shut down the restroom, and there's a whole process for cleaning that up, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And the smell never seems to completely go away. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Now, are the messes made more by people who are losing and they're upset and so they take it out on the bathroom, or by people who are winning and they're so ecstatic that they don't give a shit anymore and they're taking it out on the bathroom?
I want to say winning, and it's mostly because when they're winning, they don't want to get up from the machine. So they're racing over there at the last second, and they don't always make it.
Have you seen that video of these like old people who are just kind of mindlessly putting quarters into slot
and
machines?
They're tapping and tapping. Yes.
Yeah. Do you see that a lot?
Yeah, that's a day at work for me. Yeah, I see a lot of that. That's like an average day.
I don't get the slot machines. I'm pretty sure I've said this on here before, but the slot machines are very disappointing to me because you go into the casino and they have all these like flashing lights and colors, and there's like a panda game and a fucking dragon game, and here's they've like licensed all these properties, so it's like here's Willy Wonka the game and all this stuff, but it's all the same game. It's all just one button. It's not like Dave and Buster's where you don't get to even play anything.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's all the same. It's just what theme do you feel like sitting at? I don't gamble, so I don't really get it, I guess. I have no clue how any of those machines work, honestly.
But so how long have you been cleaning stuff for?
Almost 4 years. I started cleaning, maybe a little over 4 years. I started cleaning right before COVID hit. My first house cleaning job was with a company, and I was like, this will be really nice. It'll be quiet. I'm going into people's homes and they're not there. And then COVID hit and everyone was like locked in, and suddenly people were like following me while I cleaned their houses and were like really persnickety about it.
So the very first time you had to clean diarrhea, was it something you had to get over, and now every time you clean diarrhea, it's like, all right, I've been through this before, or is it still kind of hit you every time?
I don't think that one hit me too hard. One thing I have not cleaned yet is vomit, and I'll be honest, I have no clue how that's gonna go when that happens.
4 years of cleaning a casino and a preschool, and you've never had to clean vomit?
I haven't had to clean vomit, no.
That's pretty lucky.
I've had to clean a lot of diarrhea, but not vomit, surprisingly.
Okay, so and look, here's the thing. We could talk about vomit and diarrhea for the next half hour if you want to, but before we do that, I want to say, is there a particular thing that you called in to want to talk about?
No. I gave you a list. I don't know what you saw that you were the most compelled by. I'm open to whatever. I'm open to anything not on that list. Whatever.
Okay. Well, let's see. Okay, sure. I mean, you sent me a whole bunch of stuff. One of the things you said was, I'm dating somebody who makes so much money that I feel intimidated to be in a relationship with them. We are discussing me moving in at some point and being a housewife. Is that something you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I'm open to talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I just started seeing someone. He's really, really great. But I've always worked really hard and really like scraped for like just being able to survive. I live in Southern California and it's expensive out here. And so I just started seeing this guy. He's really, really great. And it turns out he makes so much money. And I feel like I have no business dating him because I'm not like the same caliber financially. He's completely like totally cool with it. It's no big deal to him. He just likes me for me, and I do like him for him. There just is this weird financial gap, I guess. I think I make maybe a quarter of what he makes in a year. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
I have to ask though, I mean, when you get into it and you really think about it, why does it matter if he seems to like you for you and you seem to like him for him?
I've been asking myself the same thing. It shouldn't matter. And in reality, it doesn't matter. But I guess I worry about being too dependent on him or really enjoying the relationship for a year or a couple years or a long time. And at some point, it just turns into like, I just live off of him. Or I become totally dependent on him. And I don't want that to be the case. I don't think it would be fair to him. I don't think it would be fair to me, but more so, I don't think it would be fair to him to just be taking care of another person, like in that way, in any way.
Yeah, I actually think you're going about this really well, because the awareness that you have of, like, I mean, sure, if he wants to take me to a nice dinner every now and then and blah, 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 that's great. But I want to maintain my own sense of self and my own finances and not find myself relying on this guy. I think that's really a good goal to have and a good thing to keep in mind. And I think as long as you're keeping that in mind and you're doing that, there's nothing for you to worry about. Are you worried that you're gonna digress on this goal of having your own finances in order as you get deeper into your relationship with this guy?
Absolutely. I'm worried about becoming lazy, both financially and physically. Basically, I don't want to turn into like a permanent couch potato that just like has groceries brought to them and whatever else they want. Like, I don't want to become a lazy dependent. I want to be able to maintain, like we're discussing me possibly moving in and taking care of the house. And he was saying, well, we could split it 50-50. Like, we can split the house chores so that you're not like a house slave. But I'm like, if you're bringing in this much money and you're cool with me working less than I do now and making less than I do now and having that money I make be sort of like fun money for myself, then I at least want to give like 100% to taking care of the household and those kinds of chores. I think if the financials aren't evenly split, I shouldn't.
So he suggested, why don't you move in and we'll split the cost of the housing 50-50?
He suggested I move in and he would take care of the cost of things. Things are still a little murky discussing all of the exact numbers.
Okay.
And we're totally discussing hypotheticals. We haven't been dating very long.
Okay.
We're looking
how long
at
have you guys,
something that's
how long have you guys been dating?
It's been about a month and a half. Very brief.
Okay.
Very brief. I know.
All
It's
right.
very short.
All right.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay. Look, dude, I'm not in the business of telling people what to do with their lives. I don't desire to tell people what to do with their lives, which is something I always say right before I'm about to tell somebody what they should do with their lives.
You do, yes.
I mean, dude, like, do you want my advice? Do you want my, like, because I don't, if you have this strong desire to maintain your independence, then hold true to that desire as long as you wish to, like, if that's what you want. If you're like, I want to be independent, I want to pay for, my own housing and my own this and my own that, then you're the only thing stopping you from doing that.
No, that's very true. That's very true. Yeah, I definitely want to maintain my sense of self. I definitely want to maintain my sense of self. Beyond financials and anything, I want to make sure that I'm still like doing the things that are important to me. Spending time with my family, painting.
Why are you in a rush to move in with this guy you've been seeing for a month?
I'm not so much in a rush. I think that he is a romantic and dreamy individual, which is something I like about him. And he brought up me moving in. He seems very set on me, and he's very kind in a way that I can tell is genuine. He's a genuine person, and I appreciate and respect that.
Okay. If you want my advice, I would say that, why don't you just keep seeing this guy and don't be in a rush to move in with him. And if the time does come where you're like feeling pretty confident that you do want to move in with him and you're still feeling like, and by the way, look, if you told me, I'm telling you this, if you told me I would love to be a housewife and have a rich guy pay for all my shit, I wouldn't judge you. I wouldn't look twice. I would say, if that's what you want to do, then go do that. But if you're telling me that that's not what you want to do, and you want to maintain your independence, and this is what you've decided you want for yourself, then do that.
No, that makes sense. So I definitely need to cool my jets, and I'm trying to keep that in check. It's not that I don't want to be a housewife. It's that I don't want to become a negligent human being because I became a housewife.
Are you? So you're inferring this idea that if you become too dependent and what's the word? I fuck it. If you become too lazy because you're just having this guy bankroll you, you're afraid that that's going to be a detriment to your life.
Oh yes, yeah, that's a complete loss of self.
Yeah, I think that's a smart thing to keep in mind as you navigate that relationship. So why don't you just continue to navigate this relationship and have fun and get to know this person, and maybe you don't have to move in with him immediately, but just keep that in mind. Okay, you're the only thing stopping you from I don't know if this guy, unless if he has a hot tub. If he has a hot tub, move in with him tomorrow and let him bankroll you because that's pretty cool. That sounds. And if does he have a PlayStation 5? I don't know if you care about that.
He does.
Does he have a pool table in the house?
No, but I don't play pool. He does have a fantastic large bathtub that I am aware of and think about.
Does the bathtub have jets in it? Is it kind of like a half bathtub, half hot tub hybrid?
It's being renovated, and I believe that there is a possibility there will be jets in it.
Okay, I take everything I said back. You should move in with this guy for sure.
Sweet.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Everyone just keep chugging along. You're doing a good job, whether you realize it or not.
Beautiful. What's your name? Kat? Take care, Kat.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do for the this nation's casino diarrhea.
Thank you, Lyle. Take it easy.
Yeah, hot tub sounds pretty cool. Although you don't want to get fucked, right? Because then, if you're like, all right, I'm gonna live with this guy, and he's gonna pay for my housing, and I'm gonna just clean up the house, then you're fucked. Because what happens if someone diarrhea's in the hot tub? Then you're sitting there cleaning diarrhea out of the hot tub. I don't know.
Therapy Gecko's on the line, taking your phone calls every night. Therapy Gecko's doing it right, he's teaching you how to live your life, but he's not